Hi, Flosstube. I'm Gigi. This is Boone. This is my husband. We're Team Artsy Housewife. And this is Flosstube number 7 for me.
2 for me.
This is his second time joining me. It's April 28th. This is the second time we're doing this because because I made the same mistake I made with my Flosstube number 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
And I didn't turn the mic on. And so there was no audio whatsoever. So
it was a charming Flosstube.
Best ever, but we're gonna do a subpar one just to
part 2.
So anyways,
we're much more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, I moved to wine. I wasn't here before. I got here.
Yeah, my coffee's gone. I'm onto water.
So what I was going to say was, it's April 28th, Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I also need to learn a new editing way to edit videos. I guess, unless I just don't edit it at all, and that's totally possible. But I'm back on my phone because the iPad didn't. The iPad was what we used last time. Mm-hmm. It was Boone's iPad. And I got way better color representation with my phone, even though it has a terrible onboard mic. Right. But I bought a mic. So that's a good workaround. And I just really need the color to represent true to life. So
as a cross stitcher.
Yeah. Well, anything that's like visual arts, I mean, mm-hmm. That's important. So anyhow, I don't know. Long story short, I don't know if this is going to go up the 28th or the 29th. But that being said.
Yeah. That being said, what's going on?
What's going on? So there's been a new release of four patterns.
Yeah.
And there's been a new release of 4 patterns.
They went out to LNSs. Some of the LNSs have them now.
That's right. Yes.
Some of them can contact us to order them if they want.
April 22nd is when we sent out the initial email to shops to see if they wanted to carry the patterns. And so they're on their way. Yeah. They're on their way out. Or you might have some shops that are taking pre-orders. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, we're shipping now. If you're a PDF person, May 22nd, you'll find them in my Etsy store. I give it a month for the shops to get them in first. But I was just going to show you real quick because I've got them here and I got them framed. And I rarely have stuff fully finished. So let's just show. This is Dreamer. This is part of the lovely. Nope, not
Lovebirds.
Yeah, Lovebirds. I was going to say the Lovely Dove series.
Mm-mm.
Nope. The Lovebirds series. So there's Gorgeous and there's
You Got This.
Yeah. Is that the only 3 so far?
Yeah, there's another one maybe that's coming out in a little bit.
Okay.
But not yet.
Okay, this is it. This is what we got. And I have framed it in one of these there's different. I got this one off of Amazon, but I think they have much nicer ones on Etsy. You just pop a hoop right in. Mm-hmm. And I really like the wood. I think this dark wood.
It really plays well.
It's why I went for this one in particular, was because I like that dark wood. You just pop it in to some elastic on the back. One issue with it, is that it just kind of
moves around a little bit.
It just kind of bops around. So but it's okay.
Yeah. So if you're playing Frisbee with it.
Yeah. If you got it hanging on a wall, it's going to be fine. I think my fridge is making noises, but I thought it was a dog. We have dogs loose right now. So mm-hmm. Normally I put them away, but we might go ahead.
Nah. We're flying on the seat of our pants at this point.
It's been a long afternoon. Anyways, this is Dreamer. This is awesome. Go get it today. It turned red.
Oh my gosh. That's good. Should I go turn the AC on?
It's not on?
No. I'm going to go turn the AC on.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead and turn the AC on. Okay.
Never back to the camera.
We're going to show to, this one is the flower pot sampler. And this was model stitched by Lauren Trainer, who is the New Hampshire stitcher on Flosstube. And she has an amazing Flosstube. I'm sure you've seen it because she's awesome. And she stitched this for me. So first of all, love this frame. I think this frame, because it does match the wood, the
stem?
like sort of stem of it.
Cool.
Super, yeah. I think that looks really, really good. Look at this stitching. Can I just kind of? I know I can't see what you can see, but I'm just hoping you can get it up close. Such good.
Yeah,
It's on 40 count barn wood linen. She's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have gone 32 count just because my eyeballs, but she's good. Now, this is the first of the 3 that I got framed at Hobby Lobby. And what I did was, because I don't trust anyone who isn't like a needle worker or a professional in the needlework business to pin it for me. I just pin it. I pinned it myself, and then I brought it in, and I was like, okay, now put this in a frame. And so they did. And the fronts are lovely, spectacular, wonderful. I'm very happy with the fronts. I must ask what y'all think I should do about the stickiness that is all the way
around.
All the way. Like all of it. And
Oh,
they're all that way. I'm trying to just, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so, if anybody has any ideas, because my idea is washi tape, which in our first video, Boone said, what's washi tape?
What's washi tape? But now it's not a surprise. There are no surprises in this video for either one of us now. Pretty
little skinny tape that might just cover the sticky part. Because, and my concern is, if this was just going to be hanging on my wall, I wouldn't care, because it would just hang on my wall and who cares? Sticky on the back. I don't care. But this travels. These go to trunk shows.
Yeah, retreats and stuff.
And trunk shows at retreats. And so there's a lot of people handling these, and they're going to pull them out. First of all, they're going to pull them out of the box, and there's going to be taper. And they're like, why is this stuck to it? And then their fingers are stuck to it. Yeah. And so I have to fix it.
And we're professionals.
We're working on it. So I just am wondering if anybody has any ideas, because my idea, like I said, is washi tape.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't come up with anything. I was gonna sand it. And I don't think that's the right thing to do.
No, it's got paper on the back, which, and not well done, but it's there. And I don't want to mess up the paper with some sort of cleaner. I think I'm just gonna have to cover it.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
we did discuss that we don't have any framers in our small town.
No, not that I know of. Not in my research did I find any framers, not here, or we're like 2 small towns that kind of almost merge. We're in Lufkin, and then there's Nacogdoches up north. We're both towns up around like 30 to 40,000 people. And usually, like, if you can't find a thing in Lufkin, you can find it in Nac, or vice versa. We kind of share resources in that way, but I couldn't find. So if anybody knows, I would be willing to drive, maybe.
Would you?
Okay, I'd be willing to send him.
Yeah, I think that's more.
To Tyler. Tyler's
an hour and 45. That's the same as Houston.
Houston is not, because the traffic for Houston starts way before you even
Yeah.
technically get to Houston. So
That's a good point.
anyway, if anybody knows anything, let me know. I would love to know because I would love to take him to like actual needlework or no, not actual, let's say just actual really professional framing.
Yeah, because I've tried it. I've tried framing and I mean, I can't, it's the same as I think with quilting because my mom was a quilter and I know there's some crossover between cross stitchers and quilters, but like
Sometimes
getting the corners up, for framing, I could maybe get them up, but then there'd always be a little bit of a gap. Not that big. I think something like Byron.
Oh, in the
Byron Blackbird is there's just a little bit of a gap because we're starting out. So.
Yeah, I think of all the frames that you built, that one's my favorite. The one for Byron, not
because of the job,
not
because of the frame,
yeah, but because the frame itself is just so perfect, and I'm really glad that that we found that and we were able to use it. So, I'm sure nobody's looking. Most people aren't looking at the frames.
Right.
They're just looking at the needlework. So
yeah.
The next one, the third one is Beachrat. And Beachrat was model stitched by April Farnham. She's a fellow Texan. And this chart has two charts. This has two charts. So you got the Beachrat version, and then you have the same thing, but I took the text out and I just replaced it with more leaves. So you can stitch it either way.
Yeah, very good.
Look how pretty.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And I love this frame. It's really what's the word I'm looking for? Small. It's not like it's like a thin. It's thin, but it has a lot going on. It's got that beautiful gold on the inside, and so like I said, like I love the frames. The frames are lovely, but it's the everything is sticky.
So funny
all the way around. So anyhow,
but anyhow, the pattern's beautiful.
The stitching.
The stitching
is so good.
Yeah.
Another 40 count stitcher that just those X's are so perfect.
This one right here is my favorite.
Seagulls Love Peaches. Yeah.
I love this one.
And this one is model stitched by Anna Fernandez, and it's on a 32 count, which I think is really cool because it gives it more. It's bigger, so it's just kind of more like presence.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say that.
Is that why I like it more?
Maybe. Perhaps.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And so this frame too, I think is really fitting because this sort of, I don't know if it's coming across. I was talking about how good my phone was with color, but
we'll see.
I feel like this frame, my eye sees a dusty green. And this fabric, which I don't remember what the call for fabric is, beige. It's beige by Weeks Dye Works, but I do feel like it has just ever so much of like a little bit of a green tint to it.
It looks like it on the screen.
The fabric does? Okay, good. Yeah, I think to me, the image I see looks really true. So, I think that the frame is just a gorgeous one. Happy with that. Not happy with that, but never gets old. Because no matter how much I do that, it doesn't go away on its own. I don't know. Okay.
You don't want to sprinkle dirt on it because then it'll be dirty.
That's why I didn't even think of that.
Oh, well.
It wasn't even a thought.
Yeah. I'm on it.
Okay.
Next on the list.
Moving on from new releases. Next on the list is I want to talk about Patreon a little bit. So if you don't know what Patreon is, I didn't explain it at all in my last video. We just joined Patreon a little over 2 weeks ago. And so join. I don't know. We
created a
subscription platform. That's not, we didn't create the platform.
No, we created a page for y'all to subscribe to.
Yes. So maybe
we'll see.
a lot of people are already Patreon subscribers to some other cross stitch designers. Teresa Kogut has, I would say I probably hear her name more than anyone's when they talk about Patreon. I mean, yeah, because she is super prolific. She has just tons of, she produces so many patterns. It's awesome. But anyways, what it is you go to Patreon, go to the webpage, find me. I'm the Artsy Housewife, and then you'll see that there's different tiers. They call them tiers. They're different levels that you could join. I have through tier 4, and the higher the tier, the more patterns you get. That's how I have it set up. Some people have all kinds of creatives use Patreon, and they will have different kinds of perks, merch, whatever. I give patterns. And so
you also have there's a free tier too, right?
There's that. Well, you can join for free.
Okay.
But it's not a tier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just like you can join for free, and then you kind of are notified when new stuff happens.
Oh.
But it's not.
Is that how they can get some of your free the monthly?
Oh, so that's right. That's a good point. I didn't bring this up in the first video either, so that's good.
My brain was cooking it, I guess.
I have been doing. We're getting off track, but that's okay. I have a
newsletter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like a MailChimp style like newsletter thing that I've been sending out like once a month or so. And it would have a freebie in it, just a little free cross stitch pattern. And I migrated almost all of them. There were a couple I can't find because I saved them in someplace funky.
Oh, I've done that.
And so it's there. So it's somewhere in my computer, but I'm not sure where. So, but most of them have migrated to my Patreon. So you can go find them anytime.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of free stuff there.
Yeah.
Just kind of living there.
Cool.
I've also figured out how to, well, this doesn't matter.
So we won't even talk about it.
But the cool thing about the Patreon platform is that I can make my freebies. I can upload a PDF of the freebies instead of having it just be an image.
Yeah.
And I was having a lot of trouble with that in my MailChimp newsletter thing. And so going forward, my freebies can be PDFs. So you can like use markup or whatever, or Pattern Keeper, and that'll be cool. And I'm going to try and go back and find my old freebies. And find their patterns so that I can make a PDF chart and then upload that so that.
Oh, I get it.
So that all of them could be hopefully PDFs that you could just download.
Totally.
Because that'd be way easier to use.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so go there for freebies. But also, I mentioned in the last. Well, so maybe I don't know what I mentioned in the last. But one of the things that I wanted to do for Patreon members was to open up a shop that was just for them so that they could get a PDF version of my new releases early. So I did that. I opened a shop, and it's been a little bit tricky. And we've found that there were issues with Patreon will adjust the prices based on what device you use. And so if you're using an iOS device, it increases your prices automatically by, I think, 30%.
Yeah.
And I don't get 30% more. Patreon just does that. And I don't.
Well, I think it's because Apple is getting that.
Apple's getting that?
I think so I tried to do all the research I could find to figure out how to make it good and fair and lovely and what have you. And I think that it's that Apple has control over that. I have an iPad. I got no problem with Apple. They're just doing their thing.
Yeah.
But I think that it's hard to be fair.
I don't think Apple and Patreon are playing well together for some
It seems
reason.
like.
And the other thing was there are a couple of people who live in Europe who were in different countries in Europe who said that in their country, in-app purchases aren't an option, aren't available. I don't know if that's all of Europe. I don't know if it's a European Union thing or if it's just those countries. I don't know. But like that means whole countries can't take advantage of that. And so so that's not gonna, I'm gonna leave the shop up until May 22nd. Like I said, I would leave it up for a month. Sorry for people who can't get to it. But I don't think going forward, it just seems a little, it's just too much. There's too many people who are kind of feel they're excluded. And so I won't be doing that.
With future releases.
They'll just be sneak peeks. There won't be a secret shop until the golden day, someday in the future, and I don't know when, someday I will get my own website up. We'll get an actual website up. I particularly look forward to it. Not to be...
That's the sausage making that y'all don't care about. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of you.
Yeah. So, but I don't know when that'll be. So
no, we don't.
Going forward, it'll just, but there will be, there will still be lots and lots of patterns for everyone who is part of my Patreon.
Oh.
So speaking of Patreon still, there's going to be a Sal that I am planning on
hosting.
Yeah. I'm going to try and do it on Patreon after, talking about all the problems, but I think that this will be fine. I don't think we'll have any issues. I'm going to host a Sal over on Patreon for tier 4 people, and it's going to be the tier 4 pattern that's released on June 15th, and then I'll start the chat area on July 1st and have it run through October 31st was my idea. But as I've said before, if everyone's having fun, there's no reason to stop it. So, but at least for that long. And the pattern is called A Dream. And I think I pretty much finalized the pattern. And I'll show you my
We've got a palette.
Here are the colors that are being used. I'll make a list of the called for, and I will put it in my Patreon. I'll make a blog post for it for anybody who's for sure knows they're going to be a part of it.
Well, that's everybody.
So I called it on my Patreon, on the Patreon blog when I first kind of introduced it. I called it, because you haven't seen it, so you're like, what is it? I called it damp Baroque forest aesthetic. And I think that hits with a certain crowd. I think, and
Yeah.
So
you got them.
Like I said.
Yeah. We just talked about, not wanting to exclude people, and now we're narrowly focusing.
Yeah. Just you. So I made a pattern for you. But I put in the, I'm just playing with fabric and floss now. Ren by Picture This Plus. Right? It's Picture This Plus, right? Yeah. Okay, Ren by Picture This Plus is the called for, because I have a slice of that, and it looks really, really good. It looks kind of foggy. Looks like it has sort of, it gives a background of, I think, of sort of a dense fog, which looks really cool. But as I'm sitting here with this floss, and I've got, I have a library of fabrics. I've been playing with fabrics because I think everyone should just be creative and do what they want. So I was going to show you some that I thought looked really good. Maybe if you have this in stash, put it aside. This is Fiber on a Whim steel. And that has, it's gray, but it definitely has a green look to it. And so I think that has a cool foresty, it's got a nice forest.
That's cool. Feel. None of the colors get lost in that fabric.
Nope, I don't think so. I mean, I think all the ones that I pulled, I checked already.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I made sure all the colors would work well. And so,
That's
anyways, what were
that's a good designer checklist item. Yeah. No, I don't know what you do.
This one is Oak Crown Studios in the color Autumn Glow. This is for people who are pink fans.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely be a pink fan at times. And I think that the modeling in this would be so interesting. And I think the colors look really good on here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one that I would recommend. Go to Oak Studios. They have some really, the modeling is really pronounced and beautiful on some of the fabric I've gotten from there. And then the other one is Spicy Mustard by Rona Wimp. I'm obviously not going to use this cut. I can't and I won't. But I got
so funny.
I know. I got it for a needle roll. I picked it up at Market. And I'm going to use it to make a needle roll at some point. I think that's the plan. Mm-hmm. That's the plan. Anyhow, I think these colors would also look good on Spicy Mustard. It's definitely brighter. It would have a very bright forest appeal, I think, if you went with that. But I think
I'm not a fan of pink, but I think the pink.
The pink is it the modeling?
I think so. No, it's not. It's the color.
It's the color, huh?
It's the color. I just really like the color. To be honest, when you said modeling, I panicked because I didn't know what that meant, and then I figured it out as I was delaying.
Modeling. It's that is a word that I don't think I've used in any other context.
No.
Than cross stitch fabric.
Mm-hmm.
It's modeled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Modeled and variegated.
Yeah.
I've got a real handle on.
Yeah. Although I've heard it said variegated, like variegated instead of variegated, and it's spelled variegated, and so they're probably right, and I'm probably wrong when I just say variegated.
Variegated.
I don't know.
Well, I think you're right, but that's just because I'm your fan.
Okay, next up.
That was too over the top. I'm gonna pay for that a little later. Sorry.
Next up, Weeds and Wildflowers. White Weeds and Wildflowers is a pattern that I made to go in Caroline's birthday box with Caroline with Evertote over at evertote.ca. She's hosting a sal for her birthday starting July 7th. I assume that's her birth date.
I think so. Yeah.
And so
unless the Canadians do it differently.
They probably do. They have 12 months?
I'm sure. Okay. What would the 13th be? Or the 11th? No, the 11th would be November. We don't know what the 13th would be.
Anyways, I think they're even like a base 10 system with math. Up there in Canada. Isn't that crazy?
Aren't we base 10?
Yeah.
Okay. That was mean, y'all.
What was I saying?
Oh, I think you were talking about
there's a stitch along. No, stitch along.
Stitch along. There's two things.
/ start along. It's Caroline's hosting it. Go to evertote.ca to get the box. It's a box and it's really cool. You get the Roxy Floss Co. floss, the Roxy Floss Co. fabric. There's a needle liner. I believe she said there's extra goodies. I'm not sure what it all entails. And the pattern. And get it now because you want it before the
so you can get it from her right now.
Yes. But if you're dying for a PDF is like if you're PDF or die, I will have PDFs in my Etsy store starting May 22nd, same as the other releases. Right. So May 22nd, I'll just dump everything on there. So
and I think that they said that you can get the all the Roxy Floss Co. and the fabric from them separate.
Yes.
If you want.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's right now.
No, not. I don't think right now.
Because right now I think it's just boxes.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong. Go to the website, but I know the first wave, the first offering was to be just the full boxes, and then there's more of a piecemeal option later on. So anyhow, and then if you want to do the stitch along with Caroline, and you're like, that's plenty stitch alongs, I don't really want to start another one with you, ma'am.
For a dream.
Then you can, for my Patreon, then and you're in my Patreon, you can, we're totally gonna open it up to be like, come talk about, let's show progress on Weeds and Wildflowers as well. Because they're kind of going on at the same time. So I'm gonna join them. So
yeah.
Is that everything about that?
I think that's it. Or in our last one, we had a little bit more chatter.
It was probably really inconsequential chatter.
Not good. It didn't matter. Okay. We don't need to cross it off because
it's already crossed off. I can double cross it though.
Sweet. Sometimes, I don't know if you're like this. Sometimes I'll write down items on a list so I can cross them off.
This time better work because it's crossed off like for good.
It's done.
Okay.
Whips.
Well, as we did before, I have whips?
Yeah, whips, not starts.
Yeah, I have 3 whips. You have 1.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay. My penguins.
Oh, have you noticed it's getting dark outside?
I have, because we've been at this a minute.
We're under a tornado warning right now. No, warning. No, not warning. That's the other tornado watch. We're new to Texas. We didn't have tornadoes in Oregon.
No.
And so it's sort of stormy. Or like it'll be really sunny and then
yeah. Well, my whip, I don't have, this was done by Modern Folk Embroidery, which is wonderful because I kept saying it wrong on the last video.
You'll never say it wrong again.
And so this is what I was working on last time, which is one cannot be angry when looking at a penguin, I think. When one looks at a penguin.
When one looks at a penguin.
Yep. And so when we were here last time, I had the penguins in and a couple of the white stars in there, stitching with two colors. My first stitch was assembly required, and it was only one color. And so stitching with 2 colors has been fun. And so this is my progress. And so what I got done was the border going all the way around. And it was really fun to do that because it was really mindless on that bottom and the side until I realized that the middle, the 5th peak, I think it is different than the rest. Let me see if I can show it here. So at the bottom, there's like a cross, or oops, that wasn't the right one. So there's like a cross on the middle one. And I wasn't even looking at it. I saw all of them, and I was like, shoom, and I just was going for it. But I was very wrong, and so I had to. It's off by 2 stitches, which is what I found out. So I had to go backwards over. I had to undo, I think, 4 of the peaks, and that was my first experience.
Did you undo the whole? Did you fix it completely?
No.
Right.
The bottom is going to look like this. The top is going to have the correct version, but it's creative license. I'm learning how to do creative license.
Yes,
I am an instructions follower.
I know,
kind of guy.
You're a rule follower.
I am generally a rule follower.
Yeah, and I wasn't. I wasn't saying that in a derogatory way.
Well, because I've always, I've never thought of myself. I have thought of myself as cool, but other people don't think of me as cool. And being a rule follower is not in my cool.
Not your cool persona?
No, well, it's not what I think is cool.
Right.
But I'm getting old enough now to where I'm okay to not be cool anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my whip.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Thank you. It's been fun. It's been fun just doing, because I learned new strategies. I taught myself one strategy of counting the 10s because the border gets tedious going all the way around the whole thing with just one stitch. And so I put a little one out on the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was doing that, she
Mm-hmm.
taught me how to do the tent stitches, and then on the 10th, it's an actual cross.
9 tent stitches.
Yeah.
So 9 half stitches. And then the 10th one is a cross. And so for a really long straight line, if it's not variegated
Right.
/ variegated, then that works.
Mm-hmm.
And then on your way back, you just cross all of your half stitches on your way back.
Right. And it makes sense. The reason that this one was fine is because it's a 2-stitch border. So that first one, putting an extra one on the 10th one going out was fine. But if it was a 1-stitch border, it wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We forgot. I have a finish. I was going to show that.
Oh, because we really crossed out finish. It's not even recognizable.
Yeah.
Be Not a Dunce.
Be Not a Dunce. This is Be Not a Dunce by Mama Loves You GB. And I was really close last Flosstube, and I went ahead and finished it.
What are you going to do for it?
1/1. I'm just going to frame it. I'm going to frame it and then off the shelf frame from Hobby Lobby.
Awesome.
It's 1/1 on wheat Lugana, and it's using silk, using thread gatherer silk. I really love. It's so hard to know if you can see. I love the variegation. Now I'm going to say it that way. Of this particular floss. I think it looks so good. It's thread gatherer. Mississippi mud is the color. And I love it so much. So that's finished. Look, it's so small.
It is. It's
cute.
cute.
A little sampler.
It's cute.
It's a cute little sampler.
Remember thy creator. What is it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It says, remember thy creator in thy youth. Be not a dunce. Strive to learn.
So I'm going to frame it. I'm going to hang it in my son's bathroom.
Because he's entering the years where we make foolish decisions.
Please strive to learn. Be not a dunce. I love him so much.
Oh my God.
My favorite person, but also.
She likes him more than me. It's true. I mean, it's great because he's going to turn out well. But we're approaching driving, starting to drive.
He's right over there.
He's
probably eavesdropping right now.
He knows that he's going to. We're going to start driving soon, and that's. I don't know how to. I haven't figured out how to install the brake pedal on the passenger side yet.
Yeah. I
mean, driver's ed cars have them, right?
I know. Yeah.
I never took driver's ed. My dad, I got my permit, and I was in downtown Portland. My dad said, "You got your permit? Okay, you're driving home in rush hour traffic, 45 minutes." Mm-hmm. My first driving lesson.
I know. I had to take driver's ed because my parents were paying for my insurance.
Yeah.
And it took a significant chunk off the insurance cost. Mm-hmm. So he might do that too.
Yeah.
We haven't investigated certain costs yet.
Yeah.
So
say a prayer for me.
Will do.
Yeah.
Because I won't be there.
No, you won't be there.
Here is a whip that I have been working on this week. This is a project that I got through my needlework guild. Tutor Needlework Guild out of Dallas. Mm-hmm. I am not close to Dallas, but I'm in the same state, but
it's a big state.
It's a big state. And so they do everything Zoom. So it's been really good for me. And it's called Marianne Bickerton's Tutor Rose Pocket. It's designed by Dawn Cook Roningen, which I'm not entirely sure that's how you pronounce it, but I might find out in the next Zoom. Because there's going to be a Zoom
like a
lecture.
Yeah.
And they'll
learn
talk
what the Tutor Rose
to talk
is.
more about pockets.
Oh, was the last one about the Tutor Rose?
Yeah, the last one was about the Tutor Rose. Okay. It was super interesting. I find these fascinating. I really like these little Zoom lectures. I just stitch during them, and they're super fun. I don't know if this will ever be available widely. I don't know, but it's what I've been working on. Really like it. It is actually surprisingly my favorite project that I worked on in the last 2 weeks. And I say surprisingly because it's a little bit of a sparse design, and that's not usually my style, but I really
it's
like
really cool
how it turned out. I think it's so pretty. I'm doing it on a 40 count mystery linen, and I used my own flosses that I pulled, and I pulled the flosses and I was happy with it, but just before I started, I decided I wasn't happy with them. And so I took some antiquing spray from Primitive Gathering antiquing spray, and I just did like a couple of just to knock down the color a little bit.
Cool.
Just to make it just a little bit more muted, and I love it. I think it looks great, and so I'm really excited about getting it finished. I want the pocket.
Yeah, because up close, the pink and the green in this, is it variegated?
Yep. Yeah.
The pink and the green in this little bird is just super cute.
Yeah. Forest Glade is the color.
So this bird right here, I like it.
And it was,
you said Forest Glade?
Forest Glade. And this pattern doesn't take a whole lot of floss in general. And so I very specifically went through, when I send off my patterns to be model stitched, sometimes they get sent back with like one thread left, which is, I'm like, ooh, I'm so glad I gave you enough. But then I don't know what to do with them. But this took so little thread really overall. I'm like, I'm grabbing all my tiny little that I wouldn't have used for anything else. So it's been awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm going to finish it up into a pocket, which I don't know. I'm going to sew in a little, what do you call that?
I mean, the manly part of me says a canyon. I don't know. It's like a split.
All right. I'm moving on. So I'm super excited. Okay.
Yeah, another
Next
whip.
one. Next whip. I showed this last time too. Been working on this for a bit. This is Shakespeare's Peddler. And Shakespeare's Peddler, Throw Wide the Windows. And the colors on this, I don't think I mentioned before, I'm terrible at details in floss tubes. I forget a lot of information. This is not necessarily the called for colors. It's the pattern calls for overdyes. I went for DMCs. I pulled all the actual called for DMCs, and then I decided, because when you translate an overdye to DMC, it just can be hard, because one pink can kind of lean a little bit like, it has like little purple specks in it, or the variegation, variegation, it'll never be one word again, is an important part of that floss. And so when you try and just put it into a one color, you're like, oh, what one color do I choose? Because
are you saying it's like when you make the DMC choice, you're making either more pink or more purple?
Right, exactly. Okay. And you have to choose the lighter or the darker, the more blue or the more,
because that's going to affect other elements of
Okay. Yeah. And so I wanted it to really look a lot like this picture. So I changed the colors quite a bit, and I pulled a whole new color out for the top band. Wait a minute. Oh crap, don't look at that, because that's not good. My backs aren't good. Okay, that's way better.
Yeah, I thought
so. Okay. Anyhow, and I did pull out, funny, because what I did, I finished the house. I put in most of the window panes. I put in the flower pot, and I put in the door. And when I got to the door, which is just a lot of solid stitching, I didn't want to use a DMC. I wanted to use something with some variegation to it. So right next to me was working on where'd it go? The one I just showed you. I was working on this, right?
That's the back again.
Well, we've been doing this for 3 hours. I don't know. I lost my clothes. Don't know what's happening anymore. Oh my god. Okay. So anyhow, all the overdyes for this,
right?
I had in there whiskey, the color.
Okay.
By Weeks Dye Works, Whiskey by
Mhm.
Weeks Dye Works. And so that's what I did the door in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Anyhow, and then now what I'm doing now, I'm filling in the flowers. I've got a few more window panes to do, and then I got to deal with the bottom. And I want to change the bottom. I don't want to put any words in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to change the bottom to be a design element, but I haven't decided what. I don't want
You don't want to duplicate what's on the top?
I don't. I think it's heavy. I think it's perfect for the top. I'm glad it's there, but I think it's really heavy if I did it on top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, although maybe if I just do the
and not the black,
just
not the
the
red
flower,
background.
just the flower, not the border, like the straight line border or anything.
Mhm.
Just that.
Yeah, that might be cool.
That might be really cool. Okay, I might do that, but I don't want to think about it so long that I end up putting it away again, and then it comes out next year, and I'm like, ooh.
Would you do that to yourself?
I would. I would do that to myself. Okay, last whip. GGR Red Deer Sampler. I've really made this one a huge target for me. I want to finish this really badly because it is the biggest piece that I have that I'm working on. I started it January 1st of 2024. Nope, January 1st of 2023.
Yeah.
And so it's been around for a while. It's not like, that's not an insane amount of time, but still, I want the accomplishment of finishing it. And so I've decided that I could just change my mind anytime because I do this for fun. I have no bosses.
Nope.
I'm not going to start anything new until I finish this.
Mm-hmm.
So this I have been working on every day except for just a couple.
Right, on the front.
I know. I'm being more careful this time. I've worked on it every day just for a little bit, but I think I'm going to make this something that I work on every evening at 8 p.m. I start it because at 8 p.m. I've either got a good 30 minutes of stitching, or I've got another 3 hours and 30 minutes of stitching.
Yep.
I don't know, but at any rate, I will definitely get some good work done on it.
Yeah.
And so what I did this time was I filled in some flowers on the side. And I got the border of the little border greenery down to the bottom. And I put in a couple letters, the H and the A, because I am going to do the lettering in this one. It's just a random series of letters that are probably representative of her family members or people that she knows.
H-A-N.
I know, H-A-N-N. At first I was trying to read it like it was a word, and it is not. It's just a series of letters.
So there's an ampersand in here, I think.
Well, she must be French.
Yes.
So I am going to do that.
Cool.
I'm going to get this finished.
Yeah.
I want to get it finished, soon.
Yeah.
I really, really, really hope by the end of May, because I have a lot of things I want to start. And so I don't know how long I can wait. If it's not done by May.
You're going to put it up?
Yeah, because I'm going to show, I have a plan, my next big start, because I'm really looking forward to this one. And so it will be a really, really good reward for hard work.
Okay.
And it is Hannah Sanderson, 1849. It's from Dutch Treat Designs.
It looks huge.
It's 275 by 364
wow.
stitches. It is, let's see, it says 18 stitches per inch fabric.
So it's an 18 count.
That's what I have. I have an 18 count, because I'm going to do this on 18 count Ada. It will be 16 inches by 19.75 inches. I have an Ada for this because I want to take this to the retreat I'm going to.
Wait, you're going to a retreat?
I know, I haven't mentioned it yet.
You haven't. We did it in the previous video.
Yeah. I know, it's really hard. Wow. I'm
Being
going to retreat.
surprised.
And
Which retreat are you going to?
I'm going to go to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit this year in September. And I am just going, I feel like I look topless. Maybe I should put this back on. I'm going just for fun. I mean, I'm not, I know I am a designer, but I'm not going as a designer. I'm just going to go for fun.
Yeah,
This is my
she's
first
never
one.
she's never been to a
No,
retreat.
I've never been to one. And so
And it's in her hometown.
Yeah, I'm from Portland, and it's in Portland, so it'll be good. I know the airport, so it's gonna be really easy.
That's what matters.
And I'm doing Ada. I'm starting a couple different things on Ada. I want to do this on Ada. I'm also going to do my Stitch Along Patreon pattern on Ada, because I think I'm just going to bring Ada projects. I'm not. My eyesight's not so good, so I have a very particular setup at home that requires a plug that allows me to stitch on 40 count. I got a slice of 56 count.
Oh my gosh.
A little one, but I want to try it.
Would that be like 28 count Ada for me? Because I've only stitched on Ada. And I don't even.
That would be like 28 count, which is this. This is 28 count Lugana.
I mean, so I can't even focus on it. Would you do this 1/1?
Yeah.
Okay.
1/1 for sure. But anyhow, I'm not sure. The 56 count might be a little tight. I've never done it, so it might be a little tight for regular floss. You might have to get. I'm gonna have to get that thinner.
Is it called 103?
They have 103s.
103.
But there's also some other stuff too. I don't know. I'll investigate that. Won't be taking that to the retreat. I'm going to take Ada to the retreat. And I bought all the DMCs to do this. I think this will be fine on Ada. Because my perusing of this pattern, I'll show you the better picture, has no over one and no specialty stitches that I could find.
Well, we talked about 1/1 on the last video, but I don't know what specialty stitches are.
There's lots of specialty stitches out there. That the one that's probably the most common is satin stitch. Satin stitch is one where it's just long stitches laid side by side.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Okay.
There's the queen.
Is what you did for Vicious a specialty stitch, or is that just a long string?
I did what?
The whiskers?
No, that's just a long string.
Okay.
Whiskers. On Vicious. I think there was one that I did, I forget what it's called, but it's like you make like a star and there's like an eyelet in the middle. Maybe it's called an eyelet stitch. It might be called that. I'm not sure. I researched what it was called and put it in the pattern.
No.
I'm not.
Well, that's okay. I didn't mean to derail you.
Not that. I don't know that much about. I have purposely purchased a number of patterns that are full of specialty stitches so that I can learn them and get better at them.
Oh, how cool. Good for you.
Another thing that I want to get started. I got to
by that account, I should get some linens for starting.
You need some linens?
Well, by that account, yeah. Otherwise, I'm just stagnant in my Ada.
Yeah.
As I'm
I would
say 4 projects in.
I started on a linen. Oh, hi. Helen's here. Can she be seen? No. Let's see.
She'll pop up.
Hi, Helen.
There she is.
Yeah, just coming to say hi. So I started on linen.
Thanks. Go down.
What? Go on. Oh my gosh, you're heavy. So I started on linen, but if you wanted a really smooth transition, you would go to. I think you would go to even weaves after Ada. I think.
Is that the same as Lugana?
Lugana is an even.
An even weave. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard that. You even showed me some Luganas.
The one I was just showing you.
Oh, okay.
The 28 count Lugana.
Okay.
And so what's nice about it is that all of the fibers, all of the threads are very even.
And they are not even in a linen.
No, you have slubs.
What is a slub?
It's when it gets a little bit thick, and it'll be a little thinner, a little thicker. It's like I know, like if in knitting, if you use like what they call it, like homespun or something, it's like, well, I spun my own yarn at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, I had like just a really cheap spinner thing, and and it's as you're letting it through, you just get like kind of fatter sections and thinner sections, and it's just kind of what happens with the actual linen, because it's linen,
right?
Like it's real linen.
Yeah.
The even weaves are other stuff.
Okay.
Depends on the even weave. I feel like I really like Lugana. I think I'm going to sneeze at some point.
I'll take over if you do.
I like Lugana. Smell like dog. So bad.
Quick, drink some wine.
Yes. I like Lugana. I think Lugana is really pliable.
Okay.
It's really pliable and nice. Monaco, don't like. That's the thick stuff.
I don't like Monaco either.
I showed you some Monaco that
even if you showed me, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, it was bad. So I wouldn't go with Monaco.
Okay.
But
all right.
Okay, what do we have anything else?
I haven't shared my new starts yet.
Oh, sorry, I dominated.
You didn't. It's your channel.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I am thrilled with. I have 2 new starts because last time I think I had talked about I was going to do. I was going to go really big with a long dog or a. I mean, you already know this.
Oh yes, tell me more.
Yeah,
tell me again. Actually, I can't hear it enough.
I know. Well, I even found my list. I was going to do a modern folk embroidery one, either like their 2023 Sal. There's a couple of them that are really amazing. But I didn't do that. I just chose to I made a different choice.
That's what I do every time.
Right?
Every time.
So I was poking around on the internet and I found this one, which I couldn't figure out how to print and I even had days to prepare for this, y'all, but I couldn't figure out how to print all the information I needed. I see it on my iPad within my thing, so I know how to do it. But this is by Punto Cruz. He is a designer out of Spain, and it's a tattoo. It's kind of like a traditional tattoo turned into a cross-stitch pattern. And so this is what I've got, and it is, I do have some info on it, though. Oops. Because that's important now.
Yeah. So what I said in the last one, as you're looking that up, is he was like, what's with the bright colored tattoos, though? Shouldn't they be black? Because if you can see the guy, he's got a couple tattoos on him, and they're really, we couldn't quite decide on what to call that color. It's sort of tealy.
Oh, well, this is the,
yeah.
And this is what we learned also is that it's both a mess in the bag and out of the bag.
It's just a mess.
She struck me. It's
just a mess.
But there's that teal.
Right there. Right, super bright.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's weird. Shouldn't it be black? But what I know is the old sailor tattoos, the super old tattoos from, wartime, like military tattoos. Whatever ink they used back then, the black would often fade. They were often all black, and then they would fade to sort of a like weird greenish color. So that would mean if I use my color theory background, the red's gone, the red faded, the red's gone, and the yellow and blue. So it's probably just the red. It's the red that's gone. The red leaves.
Oh, okay.
They're probably using like something really toxic for the red.
Right.
This is, way back when.
Right.
Anyways, the really old tattoos on really old dudes.
Yeah.
Like the real old school ones. They'll be green.
Yeah, they fade to
So that's why I think that is what it is, and I think it's kind of cool. I'd keep it. I wouldn't change it to black.
So it's something like 130 by 150 stitches.
That's like a good medium.
Yeah. And so what I've gotten done so far, I started it recently. Started last week and a half, I think.
Have you been working out that long?
Maybe a week.
It's probably about a week.
Okay. It's been a week. But I got his eye and like parts of his nose and the side of his face done. And
it's like as my hand is a guide there. It's like, it's going to be a big size.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah. It's on 14 count, right?
No, this is 16 count. 16 count Ada Wren.
Wren by Picture This Plus, like 90% sure
Good.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But it's fun because I'm using different colors now. In Assembly Required, it was a mono. And so this is fun, like figuring out how to switch it out. This little white right there, I can't even see if I'm pointing at it, but this one stitch of white.
One stitch. Oh.
And so here's the thing.
You have to have that though in an eye.
Oh, well, I'm glad you can see
that
it.
One gleam.
Because it's only half, it's a tenth. Because the other half came out the front. So I don't know if I trimmed it too short.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to probably have to re-put that back in.
Yeah. Well, that's one that you want to be prominent because that's the one that shows sort of the glint.
Yeah.
And it just gives so much to an eye. Like when I design eyes, it's probably annoying to people, but it's good. You got to put like 4 different colors and like 4 stitches of each.
Yeah.
Because it gives that like wetness and the sort of curvature and everything.
Yeah. There's 4 colors in it.
Yeah. You're going to want that to pop.
Yeah.
Put a bead in there.
Oh,
You haven't done beading, huh?
I
haven't done beading.
I didn't know if I should have been excited about that or not, but that's exciting. I can handle that. The other, and this, I'm going to show this because I'm excited about it. Everybody else has seen it.
I haven't had an opportunity to use it yet.
If you haven't seen these, my string.
Your string.
Oh, I'm going to be banished. My floss has been cut by my lovely wife.
Yeah, I do. I cut his DMCs down to usable lengths, and like how Gentle Arts comes or Classic Colorworks comes in those usable lengths. I cut them down for him. Like it's like I'm cutting your steak.
It's cold. But I'm learning a new skill. We're connecting on an emotional level.
Emotional, spiritual.
Yeah. I mean, for me at least. So she bought this for me, and it's really neat because she bought it for us
to share. That's why I was saying I haven't had a chance to use it yet.
It's been in my office.
Yeah.
Well, so what? Yeah.
It's off of Etsy. I wish I knew where it came from.
Maybe put it in the description notes. It's on there.
Yep.
Scott's
Mountain Crafts.
Yep. Scott's Mountain Crafts.
Yeah. So anyways,
so it's really cool because it's got a little cut line. You can cut it wherever you want.
Yeah.
But it just wind the DMCs round, and then cut it, and then they're phenomenal. And there's usually one short strand if you only need a little bit. Maybe it's just the way I cut it. I don't know. It's like I got one about that big.
Well, it's true because if it doesn't, they don't match up completely on the backside. You'd have.
That's my problem because I'm holding it at the top, so I should hold it at the middle where the cut line is. Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So that was my first start that I'm really excited about. I think it's a really cool little thing. I haven't seen any models of it, but I don't know. I still think it's cool. The other one we were watching a Flosstube because we tend to stitch in the evenings for about an hour together. I go to bed a little earlier than her, but so we'll watch if we're out of Wheel of Fortune.
Well, we sound so old. Wheel of Fortune is the dinner. It's the dinner show.
Yeah, that's true.
Watch that with dinner, and then when we're stitching. It depends. Sometimes it's a Flosstube or two, and then sometimes it's a Hallmark murder mystery. And it's only because everyone else has seen Murder, She Wrote too many times. I don't think there is such a thing as too many times.
Good Lord.
So I watch it on my own when everybody else goes to sleep. But
yeah. The Curious Caterer was last night.
Curious Caterer, yes.
The brand new one just dropped.
It did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
But yeah, because it's not the sort of thing you have to keep your eyes glued to. You can listen in.
Yeah.
As opposed to Wheel of Fortune, I did misspeak because Wheel of Fortune, you have to look at the
That's
screen.
why it's only dinner time now.
Yeah.
We only watch that at dinner time.
Yeah. But
Yeah. But you were saying
you were watching a Flosstube.
that was
And this came from
Lady Robbins. I think her Flosstube might be Lady Robbins Creates.
Okay.
Or it's just Lady Robbins. I can't remember. She is based out of Seattle. And we were watching like a 2-year-old.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just random.
But this, a Quaker turtle. And I just absolutely love it. I don't know why, but I just love the motifs. I love that it's mono color. What is it called?
Monochromatic?
Monochromatic. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's pretty big though. And so I was looking for something to fit on my my big old 16 count Ada.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is it. So this is 309 by 205.
That's a large.
It's a large.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels large. But I am using so the 16 count Ada,
mm-hmm.
and then this from Weeks Dye Work, Father's Day.
Weeks Dye Works.
Weeks Dye Works.
Mm-hmm.
This blue.
It's called Father's Day.
Yeah. And it's pretty heavily variegated.
Variegated.
Variegated. It's pretty variegated,
yeah.
Which is really cool. And this is the progress that I've made so far on it. Oops.
It's the same no matter how you hold it.
Is it?
Yeah.
But no. This is the way it's supposed to be. There's a top. I had to figure out. I had to figure out the top because I'm using a pattern that doesn't have. It's not one page, which I'm used to, and so I had to figure out what was on top. Otherwise, I don't know where. Because it's longer than it is tall.
Right.
But anyway, I got those little. I've just been working on the flowers in the center, motif. Motif.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, motif. And I've just really been enjoying it. I love how variegated the floss is.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really cool is I got a spot for it in my office too. And there's no surprise this time. I surprised her last time.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but now I know.
Because where all this came from was from Gigi. She's got so much of it because on the second piece she ever started, she started for me.
I just finished it this Christmas, by the way.
Started a couple of years ago, and she overbought on the floss.
Yeah, I didn't know how to gauge because this is the Serenity Prayer by Big Toe by My Big Toe Designs, something like that. And I changed some things. I left off the big chunky border. I changed the colors, but when it said how much when it listed how much floss I would need, it was listed in yardage. And so I'm looking at one of these, skein of this, and it says, well, it's 5 yards. So I'm like, oh man, I'm going to need a lot of these skeins for how many yards it is. Not taking into consideration, because I'm total newbie, that you split these strands, and so each I don't know what the word is. Each
yard
grouping
is 6
of
yards.
Strands is 6. No, each grouping
3.
of strands, each string is 6 strands. So, you know what I'm saying? And so I was doing 2/2. And so, anyways, I bought 3 times more of this than I needed. Is how that ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool because I got for this. It's even blue, which is awesome. And it's Father's Day.
You're a dad.
That was the joke that really hit last time.
I don't.
It didn't hit this time. Oh, it didn't hit last time either. Well, then it can be a dad joke.
It's a good dad joke.
But it's really cool because this floss is going to be hanging. It's got the perfect spot in my office. So I've got the Serenity Prayer, which is really meaningful to me, on this wall, and then it's on a corner, and so this wall will have eventually that finished
Quaker turtle.
Quaker turtle.
Yeah, and they'll match nicely.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll play well together.
Yeah,
and I think the fabrics are even.
They're super similar.
Yeah.
It's a little. Yours is a little what? More brown?
Slightly, but
Yeah.
I don't even know, barely. Here, let me see real quick. So I finished it with this sort of Americana back, which obviously
Nobody sees it.
my ability to sew a straight line is it's a good thing I'm not into quilting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they'll look really good together. Yeah, this took forever and a day.
Mm-hmm.
But
when I opened it on Christmas,
you were impressed.
I was really impressed.
No
I was
doubt.
really,
no
really,
doubt.
really, really pleased. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful present.
Good.
That is the total of my new starts. So
Cross that off again.
yeah. No, we never crossed it off. We were rolling. We got whips. We already talked about
I'm going to the retreat.
In September.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
We're saving up for it.
Huh?
Oh, I'm saving up for it.
Uh-huh. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guilt-free money.
I like a solo vacation is something I've never taken before.
Yeah. So really cool.
Yeah.
I saw I think it was the X Stitcher MD. Is that who that is? It's not Abigail.
No, Shiloh.
She I saw on Instagram today that she was at Stitch North and she got to ring a bell because she got to finish.
That's the thing at retreats.
So I feel like you need to get one with 20 stitches left.
So now, yeah, that's a cheat.
I mean, I know.
Everyone does.
But it was really fun watching her ring that bell.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Right? I know. Yeah. I'm not a bell ringer.
No? You don't like being the center of attention?
No. But maybe.
Yeah, I do. I don't mind.
Yeah. I know.
Look at me.
Look at him. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah. Well, on that note.
Okay. Do we go?
We're done. Yeah.
Oh, God, I have to use the bathroom.
I have to as well.
Bye.
We have to.